Hey there, my sister, my friend. Welcome to the Dr. Tanya B podcast with me, Dr. Tanya B. I am here to help you be your best, most authentic self, your life, your way. We're going to talk everything self-care, self-love, mindset, and personal growth with a splash of hippie woo. I am proud of you for giving yourself this time today, so let's not waste time and let's dig in. If you participated in the Empower Her Self-Care Summit, you might already recognize that there was a theme that emerged throughout those interviews. But before I get to that, the summit that I'm talking about is a series of interviews that I did with 12 coaches, healers, women that work in and deal with some sort of facet of self-care and had something to offer to us through that lens. If you caught it, fantastic. If you didn't, though, it's not too late. I'm going to leave the registration open until the end of this month, and we are currently in October of 2024. It is 100% free for you. Each of the 12 interviews is between 30 and 50 minutes long. You can listen to them on your own time. And every one of the experts also shares a free giveaway for you. And there are some real gems in there. You definitely want to take them up on that. So if you haven't already, go sign up. The link is in the notes, but you can find it on my website, www.drtanyab.com/summit. And if for some reason you can't find it, just send me a message and I will get you connected. What is really fascinating about this summit in particular is that I was shooting for a micro summit. I wanted between 5 and 6 experts, keep it small, sort of a quick in, quick out. But when I did the open call for expert speakers, I had almost 60 applications and had to really put a lot of time and effort into narrowing it down. And there were so many great people that I only could get it down to 12. And then I had to stop looking at them. And then there are a couple more that will be coming on as guests here on the podcast because they were just really good. So for example, over the next couple of weeks, you're going to hear more about how authenticity and emotional intelligence impact your self-care and lead to your overall well-being and happiness. So keep an eye out for them. But anyways, the speakers that I was able to select just sort of randomly scheduled themselves with me on my calendar. And then that is the order in which I posted them into the summit. I didn't do any sort of navigating and making sure that they were in a special order. It was just sort of a come as you are sort of approach to it. And what is really fascinating is that just like it always does, it perfectly aligned with the topics flowing from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And very quickly, a theme emerged, like I was saying earlier. That theme was choice. So if you go back and listen to the interviews, you will find that so many of the experts circled around this idea that if you want to be happy, if you want to be healthy, if you want to feel better, if you want to be better, if you want to do better, it always comes back to the choices that you make or the choices that you choose to not make. It might have to do with relationships like a partner or a kid or work, or more importantly, the relationship that you have with yourself. So let me tell you, I have been going through it with one of my kids over the last couple of weeks, and it really brings me back to this idea of choice. So remember, I have raised 3 boys. The youngest is in college. He's still at home. He'd be real pissed if he knows I'm talking about this here. So we're not going to tell him. But when he is not happy, he's real comfortable taking that out on me. And so for the last week and a half, he has not been feeling good. He's been sick. And so that means that I cannot look at him. I cannot speak to him. I just have to keep my distance from him because if I don't, he is coming at me and it is not a good time. So I have had to make some choices. Those choices include not engaging with him. I'm here if he needs me. I will answer questions that he has, but I'm not coming to him with questions. I'm just not starting conversation with him. I'm not asking him to do anything because he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to answer me and I don't know anything and he's just real mean. So what that means though is that I have to step off. That might mean that he misses a deadline or he fails at something because I wasn't managing him or holding him accountable. But guess what? He's 19 years old. And so that's what he gets to do. It's what it is. So be it. He made the choice to be a jerk. And so I'm making the choice to leave him be. That absolutely sucks as a parent, right? Like, I don't want to watch him fail. I want to hold him accountable and make sure that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. So it sucks for both of us. But in the end, it is the best thing for both of us. But why? Because it's the power of choice. You likely feel like you are at the mercy of everything else. You are busy, you are overwhelmed with responsibilities, and even the demands of everyone else and their choices. But the cold, hard truth is that you always have a choice. Even when it doesn't feel like you have a choice, those choices impact your journey, your energy, your healing, and even your self-care. All of those things, but especially your self-care, define how you show up for the rest of the world, which is why this is so important and why I really want to talk about it. I really, really love when I start working with a new client and I challenge them just a little bit on their choices. So often the response is immediately, I can't. Well, my friend, you can. You just have to decide. You get to decide to make the choice. You get to decide to not make the choice. So if you were going to tell me something like, I don't have time to exercise, or financially, I can't swing a big decision like leaving a partner or changing careers, but that's what you really believe you need to feel happy, then I'm going to come back at you a little bit with the reality that you can do any of those things if that's what you want. It almost always comes down to one of three things, sometimes two or sometimes three of those three things. And those three things are mindset, willingness to get uncomfortable, and energy. So we're going to get into each one of those just a little bit. Let's start with mindset, and we're going to include limiting beliefs here because your perception of the world around you impacts your power and even creates obstacles that stop you from moving forward or believing that you are capable of taking action. You have to remove yourself from this fixed mindset. This might look like avoiding things that take you out of your comfort zone. It could look like avoiding things that limit your opportunities because you are afraid to fail. Or maybe it's just being closed off to change. You might have to do a little work to move from that fixed mindset to get yourself into a growth mindset. Talk about uncomfortable. This is about embracing challenges. It is about learning from your mistakes. It is being just a little bit more flexible. In order to do those things, you have to embrace being perfectly imperfect. You have to know that it is fine to not hit the mark 100% of the time. You have to laugh at yourself sometimes. You have to just be okay, embracing opportunities to learn something new and stretching just a little bit at a time. This, believe it or not, creates more opportunity. Limiting beliefs fall into this mindset category because if you are influenced by past experiences or conditioning or even your own perception, and let's be honest, you are absolutely being influenced by those things, then you are automatically responding to situations in a way that is restricting you from being really, truly happy. You have got to reframe those thoughts and beliefs by using your emotional intelligence. That might include cultivating self-awareness, taking a real and honest look at yourself, at what you are capable of, and often how you respond to things. You need to start challenging assumptions and expectations. You need to question yourself. You need to question people around you. It doesn't have to be aggressive. You can lead with curiosity. You need to reframe those negative thoughts when you catch yourself either responding with why you can't, even thinking something negative about others. Give yourself a redo with a little bit of ease and grace. Change the language so that it is more positive, more inclusive. And remember that you cannot just do a complete 180 instantly and automatically. Just give yourself a little bit of time. Maybe you start with a 90-degree or even a 45-degree change to start out. It's okay. It's not a big deal. And then the other thing that you have to do is be willing to get uncomfortable. If you want different, if you want better, you have to be willing to lean into that discomfort while you grow through whatever is necessary. I know You're ready to move to another podcast already because you just don't want to hear that. You like your comfort zone. I get it. I do too. But your comfort zone is where your dreams and your potential go to die. If you want any sort of positive change, you have to lean into this. Stepping out of those boundaries is where your real growth, your real healing, your real transformation will happen. And then, similar to the limiting beliefs, you have to step out of that comfort zone by challenging yourself. So if you think you can't meet someone or you can't make friends because you're an introvert, strike up a conversation when you least expect it. Maybe it's in the store. Maybe it's in the elevator. Maybe it's just standing in line. Make eye contact, smile, engage. If you think that you aren't creative, try an art class. Who cares what the end result is? Enjoy the time. Cultivate your confidence. Be emotionally vulnerable. That sucks, doesn't it? Be emotionally vulnerable. Apologize for something in the past that you need to apologize for. Ask for help if you need it. Share your feelings with someone. Those perspectives can change everything. Physically pushing yourself is also really good, and it is amazing because it will build your confidence, but also because it leads to this next piece, which is all about energy, and moving your body means that you move your energy. So energy can get stuck in your body. That includes emotions and that discomfort that we were talking about that can grow if you don't remove it. It will just fester and grow. So remember me talking about my fear of public speaking on a previous episode? That started really small. And then because it started, it got bigger and it got bigger and it got bigger until I was able to remove the emotions and the energy that were associated with it. That was super uncomfortable for me to do. I had to really lean into that, and I had to get out of my own way and allow that magic to happen. So just like with the limiting beliefs, experiences create these feelings or these perceptions that get stuck. If you are not able to release it on your own, or if you don't even realize that it's there, it will get stuck and it will fester and it will grow without you even realizing that that is what is happening. And then you really have to do the work to release it in order to move on from it. You have to allow that energy to move, to transform, because that is what creates your transformation. You can do that work, that energy work, with all sorts of energy workers with different modalities. It might be something like yoga, massage, acupuncture, Reiki, emotion code, whichever floats your boat. But the idea is that you are choosing to let these things go. You are choosing to heal. You are choosing to move forward. You are choosing to set different intentions. You are choosing to change your behaviors. You are choosing different. You are choosing better. Every moment you have is an opportunity to make a new choice. If you that almost came out terribly. If you feel stuck or disappointed or drained or disconnected or overwhelmed, you know that you have the power to choose differently. That energy is precious. Your energy is precious. You deserve to feel vibrant, to feel aligned. So I am inviting you to reflect on one area of your life where you can make an improvement, a new choice. Is it your reaction to defend your inability to make change, maybe? Or is it a little bit like me and that kid that's giving me such a hard time? Or are you just ready to do a little bit better, to feel a little bit better, to be a little bit better? You have some options. And it turns out that my magic is showing you your real power. You can work with me one-on-one through coaching, or you can use my energy insight and alignment session. I'll be honest, that is really cool, and it is an easy place to start. I combine Reiki, chakra clearing, oracle cards, and personalized hypno meditations to clear out that old stuck energy, to help you with tools and to make choices and improvements for clarity and fulfillment. It is so good. So you can find both of those things on my website, www.drtanyab.com. The links are in the notes. And also, I just opened a masterclass called Reclaim Your Power. This is in just a couple of weeks. It is 3 evenings of live workshops, practical tools and strategies that will take you from feeling scattered to focus, from doubt to unshakable confidence. If you are looking for clarity or change, this is the place for you. Exactly what you need to make the choices that serve you so that you are better able to serve everyone else. Also, it is so freaking cheap. I am only charging $19 for this, and you get a 30-minute follow-up call with me. I am doing this at such a ridiculous price because I just want you to come. I want the right people to get to me so that we can do this work together. You do not want to miss it. Spots are limited, so make sure that you get registered right away. And again, you can do that on my website. The link is in the notes. DM me or email me if you have any questions, and I will see you soon, my friend.